Hello, this is Jaden Sanders, and I'm going to be talking about the gospel. So Jesus, the light, came down to earth, sent by God, and died for us. But that's just the shortened version of what happened. So we're going to talk about the longer version of what happened. I'm going to talk about a few of my favorite verses in the Bible. One of them is John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Another favorite verse is John 1:14. It says, "The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth." Those two verses are my favorite in the Bible, and they tell you that Jesus was in the beginning and the end. Let's talk about the disciples. You might have thought that the disciples were good people, but they were actually bad sinners. Some were tax collectors and really kept most of the money to themselves, and others were fishers. But in the end, Jesus still chose them to be his disciples. Let's talk about Jesus himself. Jesus was born in a manger, as most of you know. Did you know he had a cousin, John the Baptist? They grew up together. Jesus is God's only son, but God told him to die on the cross for us. He saved us. Now let's talk about Jesus' miracles. The first miracle that I'm going to be talking about is feeding the 5,000. Here's a verse from the Bible. Jesus asked a boy if he could borrow his lunch, but all he had was one piece of bread and two fish. Then Jesus broke the fish and the bread, and the meal duplicated to feed the 5,000. The second miracle is Jesus turning water into wine. On the third day, a wedding took place in Cana in Galilee. Jesus' mother was there too, and Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine was gone, Jesus' mother said to him, "They have no more wine. Why do you involve me?" Jesus replied, "My mother has not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Nearby stood 6 stone water jars, the kind used by the Jews for ceremonial washing, each holding from 20 to 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water." So they filled them to the brim. Then he told them, "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet." They did so, and the master of the banquet tasted the water and said that it had turned to wine. The third one is raising Lazarus from the dead. Jesus, once more deeply moved, came to the tomb. It was a cave with a stone laid across the entrance. "Take away the stone," he said. "But Lord," said Martha, the sister of the dead man, "by his time there is a bad odor, for he has been there for 4 days." Then Jesus said, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" So they took away the stone, and Jesus looked up and said, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I knew that you always hear me, but I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they might believe that you sent me." When he said this, Jesus called in a voice, "Lazarus, come out." The dead man came out, his hands and feet wrapped with strips of linen and cloth around his face. And that's all the miracles right now that I'm talking about. Now we're going to talk about the saddest thing that happened in the Bible: Jesus dying. He got nailed to the cross and died for us. Something that people wonder is that why did they call the holiday when Jesus died Good Friday? The answer is because Jesus may have died and it was sad, but now we are free from our sins. Jesus chose to die for us because he loves us. But on the third day, Jesus rose from the dead. When Mary, Jesus' mom, came to the tomb, they found the stone rolled away and 2 angels inside saying that he has risen. When Mary saw Jesus, she ran and told everybody that he has risen. Whenever you see somebody who doesn't know about the gospel, go up to them and tell them about it. If you believe in him, you will be saved. Like and subscribe if you like this video, and if you want another video like this, type in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Bye.